Everyone looks at this painting and sees a divine moment of conversion. But nobody notices the subtle architectural impossibility hiding in plain sight. You have spent your entire life believing this is just a scene of Jesus summoning Matthew from the darkness of a Roman counting house. Yet you are missing the silent signal that changes everything. Look closely at the hand of Christ extended toward the table. It is not merely a gesture of invitation. It is a precise replica of another hand painted by a man who died almost a century before Caravaggio was even born. Michelangelo painted the creation of Adam in the Sistine Chapel with that same finger of God. But here, the implication is far more sinister. Observe the shadow falling across the table. It does not obey the laws of the light source coming from the door. It defies physics. There is a hidden geometry in this composition that was never meant to be solved by the public eye. This is not just a calling. It is a trap set in oil and pigment. You are witnessing the exact moment where human greed meets divine intervention. But the light is not coming from Jesus at all. The light is coming from a source that Caravaggio kept hidden behind the viewer. Prepare yourself, because we are about to peel back the layers of this masterpiece. The second layer of this mystery lies in the identity of the man himself. Look at the bearded figure pointing to his chest. History tells us this is Matthew. But is he really? Notice the younger man at the end of the table, his head bowed, his fingers obsessively touching the coins. Many experts now believe the bearded man is actually pointing to the boy, asking Jesus, "Him? You mean him?" This shifts the entire narrative from a moment of recognition to a moment of total confusion. But there is something even more disturbing. Look at the feet of the figures. While Jesus and Peter wear the dusty, tattered clothes of the ancient world, the men at the table are dressed in the height of 17th century Roman fashion. They are wearing doublets and hats from Caravaggio's own time. This is not a historical painting. This is a collision of two different centuries. Caravaggio is telling us that the calling is happening now, in the dark, back alley bars of Rome, where he spent his nights fighting and drinking. And look at the window above the table. It is covered in grime, opaque, letting no light through. If the window is blocked, then where is that blinding light coming from? It is piercing the room from a sharp angle, cutting through the air like a sword. This light is not natural. It is a spiritual weapon designed to isolate Matthew from his wealth. Now we reach the final and most chilling secret of all. Look at the figure of Saint Peter, standing directly in front of Jesus. He was not in the original sketches. Caravaggio added him later, almost as an afterthought. But why? Peter's body almost entirely obscures Jesus. Only the face and the hand of Christ are visible. This is a deliberate act of occlusion. In the theology of the time, Peter represents the church. Caravaggio is making a dangerous statement that you cannot reach the divine except through the heavy, physical intervention of the institution. But look at the angle of Peter's back. He is leaning in, mirroring the gesture of Christ, but his hand is lower, more grounded. This creates a double summon. And here is the detail that will haunt you. Look at the void, the absolute darkness between the figures. In the world of Caravaggio, shadows are not just the absence of light. They are a physical presence. The darkness in this room is swallowing the characters from the legs down. They are drowning in it. Notice the sword on the hip of the young man facing us. It glints with a cold, lethal sharpness. This isn't just a religious scene, it's a crime scene. The coins on the table are blood money. Caravaggio, a man who would later become a murderer himself, painted this as a warning. The light is not an invitation to paradise. It is an interrogation lamp. Matthew is not being saved. He is being arrested by God. Once you see the fear in their eyes,